Hi there, I'm Jen Hand of jenhand.com, and today is a super important, not to be missed, one-of-a-kind episode because we are talking about a really, really crucial, important topic: what to do when you just want to throw in the towel and give it all up. And on my own food and weight journey, I struggled with this mindset many, many times. I thought about giving up probably over 1,000 million trillion, I can't even count, number of times. I just wanted to be like, screw it. I'm just going to deal with this for my life. Like, maybe this is just something I just have to deal with. People have issues and ailments and diseases, and maybe this is just something I'm going to have to deal with. And when times got really tough, when I had a really bad binge or I just couldn't lose weight and I just wanted to be like, screw it. You know what? I don't care. I'm giving up. And I really wish I had someone by my side whispering this in my ear, the 4 things that I'm going to talk about, because it's so important to keep in mind when you're on this journey. So we'll dive right in. There's 4 things that you need to remember when you just want to give up. So the first one is that you will have bad days. And when you go in knowing that, it makes it so much easier when you do have a bad day. So there are so many ups and downs on this journey. And I always say it's a couple steps forward where you feel like you've got the hang of it. You're eating really well. You know what to do. You've got it down. And then boom, something happens. And you take a step back and you binge and you can't lose weight and you hate your body that morning when you look in the mirror, whatever it is. So knowing that you will have bad days and you will have slip-ups and you will have times where you think that you aren't making any progress, but you are, because bad days are a part of it. It's a part of how you learn. It's a part of learning what works for you. It's a part of seeing deeper into what is really actually holding you back, because you may have thought that you healed a belief or you weren't restricting or you got something down, and then life happens and you realize, oh no, I am restricting. I am not feeling my emotions. I am still thinking I'm not good enough, whatever the case is. So knowing that you'll have bad days in this whole journey is so important, because when you do have a bad day, you can just let it go and move on and get up the next day and kind of get back in the fight. The second thing is that it's really hard work, but it is worth it. So this whole recovery process, from dieting, binging, restricting, overeating, into intuitive eating, into eating for satisfaction, being a normal person around food, is hard. It is very hard. And I wish someone had told me that going in, because I thought it would take, a couple weeks, a couple months, and then working on myself, working on all the beliefs and the mindsets and my diet and, all the food issues, everything. And then I would have it. I would get the hang of it. I was a good student. I knew how to study. I knew how to get good grades. And I thought this was the same thing. And it's not like that. It is hard work. The thing that I want you to know is that it's worth it, because imagine living your life this way for the rest of your life, for the next 10, 15, 20, however, 40 years. And that's no way to live. It's no way to live being a slave to food and counting calories and hopping on the scale and hating your body. It's really just, you and every woman deserves to feel for that freedom and to feel that peace around body and when you're eating and in your food. So it is worth it. This journey is worth it. And, all the cliches saying, the only things good in life are those that are worth fighting for. And you got to fight for this. And you got to undo all of the stuff that you've been living for the past 10, 15, 20 years. All the beliefs that you thought, all of the food patterns that you had, all of the reactions to someone making you angry or frustrated or upset, and you run right into the food. Everything that you've covered up the past 10 to 15 years with food comes up to deal with when you start this journey. So it is hard, but it is so, so worth it. The third thing is that it takes time. And this kind of builds on the second one, where thinking about how long you've had this, ask yourself, how long have you been dealing with this whole food thing, this whole body thing? And if you're really honest with yourself, it's usually not 2 weeks, 6 months. It's usually years and years and years of getting to the place where you are right now. And it'll take time to get to that place where you're free from all of that. So it really is going in knowing that you can absolutely achieve your goal of finding freedom around food and feeling fabulous in your body and looking in the mirror and liking your body and going to a buffet and being like, oh, I'll have the chicken and the salad and actually want that. But it takes time. It takes time to undo all the stuff, to untangle the mess, to sort through it, and then to make it cohesive and fit it all back together in something that's workable for you. And my favorite metaphor, one of my favorite metaphors, I have many, but is this, disordered eating is like a tangled ball of yarn. And as you start to work through the yarn, you pick it apart. You're kind of pulling everything apart, this whole tangled mess. And as you're doing that, you pull a piece and then you find another knot and you got to work on that. And then that kind of dissipates and then you find something else, another tangle within that. So it's kind of, everything is so intertwined and interconnected, is that you're pulling apart all these different pieces. Other things are bound to come up to work on. So everything is related to your food, your relationships, your family issues, your thinking you're not good enough, your perfectionism, the diet mindset. It's not just the food and body that we work on, but it's everything in your life. How you're dealing with other people, how you're dealing with emotions, how you're dealing with how you see yourself. I mean, just tons of stuff comes up, and that takes time. It takes time to sort through and to really make progress and to have it be lasting, and that's what you really want. And the fourth thing I want you to remember is that you are doing it. So you might not think that you're making progress. You might not think that your progress is fast enough. You might not think that you are going at the speed that you want to, but you are on this journey. And especially if you're watching this video, if you read my blog, if you're part of my community, I mean, you want to be healed and you want to find this freedom, and you are doing it. Reading all of these things and watching all of these things and trying to implement them into your lives, and really, really being committed to reading my blog and reading, finding books that you feel really strongly about and will really help you in your journey. So all those different things, trying to stop binging, trying to stop dieting, all of those things, this is your journey. You are in the middle of your recovery process. You are aware that you have some struggles around food and weight, and that's half the battle right there. I remember when I didn't even know. I just thought it was normal to binge and restrict. I just thought I'd done it for so long. I truly didn't know that was not normal. And when you get over that hump and see this disordered eating, this issue for what it is, I mean, that's half the battle right there, owning it and being aware of it. And that's the first step to change. So you are doing it. You are in the middle of it. And you are making progress. So just to kind of recap, remembering that you'll have bad days, remembering that it's hard work, but it is so worth it, realizing it takes time, and remembering that you are doing it. So I'd love to hear from you about your own recovery process and where you are in your journey, and how remembering these 4 things can really help you get to that next step and get to that next level. So thanks for tuning in, and I'd love to hear your comments. So share below about your own recovery progress, because sometimes really when you share and other women read it, it's amazing how much it helps, and how seeing yourself in another person and another person's journey can make you feel not alone and make you feel normal, make you feel less crazy around the things that you think or the things that you do. So I'd love to hear your comments. Share below, and thanks for tuning in.